All right, we are back. Attack indeed. Let's go to Margie in New Mexico. Margie, you're on the line.
Hi, Jason, and it's Margie, as in
okay.
Margaret. I'm Margie Flynn, and I'm from Las Vegas, New Mexico, and my husband Jack and I are co-founders of Citizens of the American Constitution.org. And I wanted to talk to you tonight about some of the ridiculousness that's going on in this beloved country of ours, which is quickly going down the tubes, as they say. The situation with the EMT in Oklahoma is reprehensible. The situation that the young fellow from Utah described with this very wonderful teacher being canned is also reprehensible. And we know this is happening all over the country, repression of free speech, etc. But I would like to look at the other end of the circumstances, not just at what's going wrong and the fact that we all need to know about it, but what are we doing as a collective body of citizens, individually and in groups, to make changes. And I don't mean just forming organizations and talking about things that are wrong and trying to pass out videos. All of that certainly is necessary. But we've got to start getting back to the basics, the fundamental rule of law, which, as you know, is the Constitution. And you referenced it in the Bill of Rights earlier tonight, as did Alex. And my husband and I are living in New Mexico, which is one of the most corrupt states in the country. The retiring FBI chief out in Albuquerque, just before he retired a couple months ago, said on a TV interview that he thinks this is the most corrupt state in the country. And yet, despite that, our group of citizen activists have won hundreds of cases in New Mexico courts on constitutional issues. And if we can do it here, we can do it any place. But the sad point is that the young people today and the old people and the middle-aged people haven't got a clue about what the Constitution really says. They don't understand not only their rights, but they don't understand how severely the Constitution limits the authority of any governmental officer. And those folks in Oklahoma who were badly treated by these cops, this EMT fellow, he needs to marshal a campaign of people in his community, in his county, in his state, to stop this kind of thing and take action against this police officer. He's a criminal. He's a jackbooted thug with a license to kill. And if the people would stand up against this, not just in Oklahoma, but certainly everywhere where these abuses are going on, we could see a humongous change right away. But it has to happen now. We've got to be smart about it. We've got to do it now.
Well, I agree, and I really think one of the biggest solutions is for people, you talked about organizations, and that's not enough, but if you join an organization like Campaign for Liberty with, on your mind, I'm going to run for city council, I'm going to run for local mayor, I'm going to run for maybe a congressional seat or a state senate spot, and maybe you don't win, but maybe you do challenge the incumbent or the expected winner on his positions in front of 100, 200, 1,000 people, 2,000 people, and at least you get your message out there, and maybe you do win. And then we have somebody on the inside that can help this out. I mean, we've got state senators, that are with us in a lot of issues. We've got Congress people that are with us on some issues. We obviously have Ron Paul. I mean, Dennis Kucinich may not be the best on everything, but I think he's definitely one of the few gems in Congress that is somewhat honest and really does, want something more for the people. You look at Michelle Bachmann. She tried to stop the global currency. She's done some really great things, and she's been demonized for it.
Absolutely. There's a handful of people that do that, and it's funny you should say that because I did try to run for city council in my city, and I was defrauded by being given false information by the city clerk, which caused me to declare in the wrong ward. I mean, it was a real brouhaha. They took me to court to try to get me off the ballot, but the judge upheld my position and my right to run. And I tried to get administrative remedy from these clowns, and nobody would do anything, so I've had to sue them. And now I'm having a state Secretary of State's office do a criminal investigation because I believe it was a conspiracy.
Well, you know what? Keep at it. And why don't you throw out that website one more time?
Sure. Our website is citizensoftheamericanconstitution.org. Please go on and check us out, and we'd love to talk with you further sometime, Jason.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're doing a great job, and God bless you.
All right. Thank you so much. All right. You got it. Eric in Pennsylvania, you're on the line. What's up, Eric? Yes, sir.
Jason.
How you doing?
All right. Have you ever heard of Mark Emery?
Is he the guy up in Canada?
Yes.
And he's the what? Is he in Super Jaime?
No. That's Doug Benson.
Okay. All right. But I think I've heard of Mark Emery as well for some reason. Go ahead.
Well, Mark Emery is he was one of the largest online cannabis seed sellers.
Okay.
Based in Canada, and he basically would sell it to the United States, and basically this thing was to overgrow the government.
Mm-hmm.
But he made millions and millions of dollars doing this, and he gave it all to legalization ballads and stuff like that. Like some of the biggest ones, like the one in California, was largely because of him.
Mm-hmm.
And basically they came after him politically because he was basically like challenging the establishment.
He was basically forming his own large lobby group because people were behind what he was saying, and he had some capital to back it up.
Right. So the DEA they wanted to extradite him, and the Canadian government said no. So we went over there and we actually arrested him.
Mm-hmm. No, actually, you know what? Someone sent me that, I think, last week, but I didn't cover it just because it's the marijuana issue, and it does suck that we did go over there. It does show, again, an amalgamation between U.S. and Canadian intelligence and law enforcement, and they did just pass some kind of weird bill concerning the borders. We also covered a story about 3 weeks ago now where this person who was on an Indian tribe got into it with a DEA agent who was in plain clothes and a plain car, and he served time in Canada for the altercation, but then he was extradited to the United States, and now he's going to be serving even more time. I mean, this is a further indication to me that they are getting ready to slowly dissolve these borders, bring in, these super highways, this SPP agreement, and once again try to get rid of the sovereignty of the United States, Canada, and Mexico, and form an international government.
Absolutely. But here's what I'm asking you to do, because this guy's about to sign a plea deal and do 5 years in prison. You really need to get him on the show, like ASAP. The website is noextradition.net. You can go there, and it's all the information. Dude, you seriously need to get him on your show, man. They're going to give him 5 to 8 years.
All right, I'll look into it. Noextradition.com. I'll send my producer on it if I can remember it, Eric. Send it to me on my MySpace. Maybe I'll get through it. I think I've got like 70 messages just today I haven't gotten through. Organo in Pennsylvania, you're on the air. What's up, Organo?
Hey, I went for a seatbelt check tonight.
Seatbelt check? Oh, you mean you got a ticket for it, or?
No, I've been wearing seatbelts before they made a law for it. It's just common sense,
Yeah.
But, I live in a small town.
Mm-hmm.
There's like 5 cop cars there. And so, like, I see a couple cars in front of me. I hit the buttons, roll my windows down, turn my interior lights on, and when I go up, they're like, they know, it's Scotty the cop. He's like, hey, Ed, I got all the stickers in the world on my Jeep,
Mm-hmm.
Infowars, every crazy sticker in the world. And they're like, but I am Jason Bermas. I am going to make a DVD and advertise on GCN on how to, unless you want to pick a fight with the cops because they are brainless idiots. Like Alex says, they will not hire cops that have a high IQ.
Mm-hmm. So no, that's actually true. It's not just what Alex says. It's policy. If you score too high on your IQ test, they don't want you because they say that you won't stay in law enforcement and you'll try to go somewhere else. So automatically you're going to get a dumbed-down police force. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, you got to do the Jedi mind trick. You got to keep your mouth shut. Like I said, you roll all your windows down, you turn your interior lights on, keep your mouth shut, let their brains think. As soon as you open your mouth up, it befuddles their little minds, and then they get aggressive. So I'm going to, like, unless you're ready to pick a fight, you got the hidden cameras or something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to, like, get some cops and make a DVD with them and, like, pick their brain and say, how just to get through these stupid checkpoints are thrown up. Totally unconstitutional, but that's where we are right now,
Mm-hmm. No, it's unfortunate, and they'll claim, oh, well, this is a Constitution-free zone because it's 100 miles from the border, and we can have this warrantless checkpoint, and you're just going to bow down, sir. And some people, like you said, get wise with the police officer, or just talk to the police officer, and they don't want to hear it. Like you said, you might need that Jedi mind trick. I look forward to seeing the project, Organo. Let's go to Andrew in Canada. Andrew, you're on the line.
Hey, Jason, how you doing?
Good, man.
Good. I just want to start off by saying I have a few things to say. First of all, I'm calling on behalf of We Are Change Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know this yet, but Bush and Clinton are coming to Toronto tomorrow.
Yeah, someone called in to the Alex Jones show to tell me about that. Stephen Harper is actually going to be hosting